Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back yet again. We're going to call this a bonus episode. So this is season 3, episode 8A. I'm your host, Steve Fletch. Have my co-host here, Mitch Hartman. Mitch, how's it going? Are you ready for tonight?
I'm ready. Got a lot of comments to respond to.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to do. So, our last episode about the economy tanking and the brands that should they stay or should they go, I guess ruffled some feathers. So we'll go over those topics and comments and, kind of elaborate on our viewpoints of them. We always like it when people comment in there. It is like stealing candy from a baby, so to speak, or one of those phrases when it's just easy content and enjoyable. At least I think it's enjoyable. Mitch, we'll just get started. We'll learn how to ollie later. And we'll scroll down here. I guess we'll just kind of go through the list from I guess they were a little out of order, but oldest to the newest. Newest first. And then that'll take us down. All right. We'll go to the beginning. All right. Mitch, I guess we'll alternate.
You're on a little bit of a lag, so if you read them off, I'll just respond to whatever you
Okay. That
throw out
works.
there.
I guess we'll just I'll just go through them. But yeah, boy, ... saw John D'Lo skate at a Gas Giants demo at Skate Park of Tampa. He's the truth. I'm sure the John D'Lo show in person is definitely something to watch. I'm sure he's one of those dudes, if you see him in person, he's just amazing. But again, I can't be alone if there's a reason that none of these brands are... I don't even think Lakai was going to put them on. And they're like pretty hard up for people, so... There's just something off about him. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't dislike D'Lo, but it's just a matter of the whole point we were trying to make is like what is marketable and making these brands money, and how is he making ends meet without a proper like a sponsor that's going to pay well.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
and
anything
with
against his skating. It's a hard time in skating right now.
totally, and then with Jacuzzi, I'd almost say like he's the main attraction over there, and that's like,
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
scooped him when almost went under because he was definitely the dude at almost. Besides like Rodney, who Rodney is a whole different category. It's like not a modern current street skater. And like Yuri got on Death Wish, great for him. Um, you know, who else? Max Geronzi is kind of a free agent still, but we'll see.
Both of those dudes I would rather watch than John D'Lo. I don't know if they're better than D'Lo, but D'Lo definitely has that things he can do other people can't do mode, like his manual stuff and the switch flips, and like it's insane that he can do this stuff, and I just don't care. I would rather watch those two. Um,
Right. And I think that was a huge point of what we got into with a lot of people is like all this shit is so subjective. These are just our opinions. Like I'm sure a lot of these people in the comments hate my favorite skaters and I don't give a shit. That's cool. Like you can like whoever you want. It doesn't mean I have to like them, and I'll spend my money and support the people that I want to support, and you do the same.
right, and that's a good point to touch on too. Is like you'll use your money to support the people you want to support. So I do hope that yeah, boy, ... saying that he's the truth. I hope you go and buy John D'Lo shoes and a board to support him, because otherwise it doesn't help anybody. The whole point of these guys being good and being sponsored and being on these companies is that hopefully people want to buy the stuff because they have it. And, again, you can say he's awesome all you want, but are you buying stuff that he rides for
Right.
because he's
Does
on
that
it?
translate to you buying product with his name on it?
Yeah.
Which is hard in his case because he's got that goofy board with like the wheel wells and shit. But People must be
Good
psyched
luck.
on it if they're making it.
Yeah. We'll see where at the end of the year if Jacuzzi's even around anymore.
They will make
But
it through a year.
Mitch, I'll gentleman bet you on that one. Another $20 at Wawa at the end of the year. We'll come back.
All right, I got lunch on Steve. I am
Yeah, I
confident
don't know,
on that
man.
one.
All right, move on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Hojoba Singh Stoke. Hojo Basing Stoke. All right, possible pod theme: stepping stone / farm league companies through the ages. I think that'd be a cool episode.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some like, and no offense to any of those brands, but I feel like it happened to a bunch of them. Like, I feel like that was Five Borough for a while. Everybody
No,
was
it's
on
true.
Five Borough Flow or something, and then went somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of some right now. But like these people would get on these companies that are only so and so, and then
Yeah,
end
I
up
feel
on the
like
bigger
for a
stuff.
while, it was Powell. Everybody would get on Powell Shop Flow or whatever, and then ride those boards for take their free stuff until they got themselves to a point where they can move on. I don't think anymore
Yeah,
because I feel like they've kind of like found their lane of who they're psyched on, and they're keeping those people. But for years, I feel like
it's
everybody was like, "Oh, that dude gets Powell Flow," and now he doesn't.
Silas Baxter Neal was on Powell.
Right? So many people.
Hmm. Yeah, Boo Johnson. I mean, like them or don't like these guys, but they were all on Powell. Pretty crazy. I'm trying to think if there's like a couple other ones. I mean, even Santa Cruz, right? Speaking on that one from before, you had Brian O'Dwyer, right? You
Zion.
said
Like even
there's
Mario. Like when Mario got on, it was like, oh, he's going to go to Primitive or he's going to go somewhere like that. But I mean,
yeah,
they kept him. He stayed, and it seemed to be working out for him. Like I feel
yeah.
like he's a bigger deal at Santa Cruz than he would be if he was just another dude on Primitive.
Oh, totally, totally. That's like what was that when Leo Romero pre-Silver Shoes got on Baker, and then they put him on Toy Machine because he was just overlooked on Baker.
Yeah, because what he went from Foundation to Baker and then back to Toy Machine.
Then he went to Toy, yeah, because they were like, yeah, your board just isn't selling here. You're
But
blending
that's
in.
when they had like 17 pros or some shit.
Hmm.
Like the team was
Yeah.
bloated because that's when they made that big cut. Like they cut Leo, they took Spanky's board away, they took Braden's board away, they took Shane's board away.
Hmm. Man, I'm trying to. I hate drawing a blank on this, but there's got to be one brand. Like Powell is definitely a good one, but like some brand that these people were like, farm teaming. Even, I guess it was before, and I think it went under before anybody. But there was Society. I don't even know if you remember that brand back in like the mid '90s.
I just remember what was that dude's name? Ryan Kenrich.
Ryan Kenrich, James Craig, Louis
Yeah.
Cruz was on it. So they had a bunch of people.
I mean, I feel like even
That.
some of those dwindle brands, like they all had like flow teams of people that went somewhere else because they
Hmm.
weren't going to put them on, but it was a good place to get boards.
Yeah.
Or even in like the 90s, like look at how many good people didn't go anywhere because of the girl. Like what did Bill call it? Gas and dump, where it's like, yeah, they'll put you on flow forever, but they're never going to
Hmm.
put you on the team.
Well, that was like World too. World had a huge flow team, and they just wouldn't like. Sure, Chris Franzen will give you boards forever, and then just it's almost like giving like even Deluxe. I think now I've heard they have some insane flow team. It's like, and those guys just stay there.
Should look how big their regular team is. But yeah, I think we covered all that.
Here's the next one: Lizard Dinger 2360. Haha! It literally says BBS on the limo website, but you guys are too busy trying to play detective, looking at pictures instead of just reading for half a sec. Not trying to pick on you. It was just funny as shit. Keep doing what you're doing, old heads. It is funny because I went and checked after this, and I was like, holy shit, it does say BBS right there. So I think
Yeah,
we were right.
you're going to take the L on that one. I couldn't see the screen.
Yeah, I'll be a guilty party there. But we said generator, BBS, and then I asked Dave Waite, most knowledgeable man on skating I know. And he said it's the same boards, just different He was saying, what did he say? Do you remember what he said? I
Yeah,
asked
you
him
get
that.
access to like better, like different shapes and different choices with stuff. It's like the next step up, basically.
Or one's shops and one's brands, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he said it's the same wood, so we were, on
I think
point
it's like
with
a
that at
clout
least.
thing too, of like, oh, ours are BBS, they're not generator, and it's like it's the same fucking molds and wood and everything else.
Yeah, I remember helping Tim at Bob Shirt do the Jason Dill episode, and I remember I asked Jason Dill like, "Oh, well, what are your boards, a generator?" And he was like, "No, they're BBS." He was like very adamant about that. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so let's
Oh, this
see.
one's
Continuity.
timely.
Yeah. Douglas Wares 5614. Scumco is the best, almost as cool as that brand that folded DOA. Yeah, what shit timing on that comment? Because Scumco they just recently announced they're closing their doors. It was like a day after that the episode released.
Yeah,
When I said
literally a day or
skateboarding
two.
needed them.
That sucks.
Yeah, it totally sucks. So hopefully, if they still have stuff left, everybody should go to their website. I think it's like scumcoandsons.com and buy something, whatever it is. It sucks to see them go. Really does. Hopefully, all
Yeah,
those dudes
help
end up
Nick not be
somewhere.
sitting on product and make some of his money back.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they sold all. I think it's probably all gone by now, which is awesome.
I
It
hope
just sucks
so.
that it's that late. Um, yeah, really bummed on that one, man. But wish them all the
Yeah, did
best.
not see that coming at all. But at the same time, I get it because it is hard to sell a board right now.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And Scumco's not going to be the last one. There's going to be more. It just sucks to see them doing it, and they did it so long. That gift card's going to be mine, Mitch. Um, here's next one doesn't make sense. Ryan Rowe, 1975. He's making a improvement. I don't know what that's in reference to, so I have no idea. Gun plus skate. Steve nailed it at 33.53. Oh, I think it was that Zero should go out of business or something like. It was one of those.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to go check it because then I have to scroll back down here. All right, experience skating. Love this episode. Great. I'm happy you did.
Not everybody did.
No, not everybody. We're going to get to those soon. At Mickey Thunder V. Brands don't have to be on top. They support a lot of skaters that aren't even on our radar and thus keep the whole industry going. We tend to see mostly the guys on top, but the iceberg beneath is what is essential for the thing we love.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, you don't have to be a huge brand, but if you want to stay in business, like, I wouldn't, like, Scumco is a perfect example. Like, it's a brand that tons of people have heard of, had a good sized following, and even that with names like Kyle Nicholson, Kevin Taylor, like, couldn't stay in business. That's a rough day in the industry.
Yeah, and it's like brands like Scumco, like they're doing God's work. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah, they're
keeping
not
these
doing
cool
it to make
skaters.
money,
Yeah, yeah,
but you
and
have to
they're
make enough money to stay in business.
yeah. That's the tricky part. And it's hard, but those smaller brands and giving the cooler skaters, not necessarily the Niges of the world, but these other guys who are sick at skating, and you just, it's cool to see that they're taken care of with boards and stuff so they can keep skating and we can keep watching their footage. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys we've never heard of that are, like he says, under the
Yeah, like we
radar.
said, it's probably what a solid 85% of the industry of pro skaters aren't making enough money just off of skateboarding to pay their bills.
Oh, I'd say higher than 85%.
Like
Like,
it's
yeah,
all a
it's
shell game.
yeah,
It's like
no,
everybody's got
seriously.
some kind of side hustle where it's like you're doing YouTube or
Hmm.
you're doing Twitch or whatever the hell like people are doing just to where it's like you have some kind of side hustle where you're or you have a drink sponsor or a shoe sponsor or something like a big shoe deal.
Yeah, I think like even now you see more people having YouTube channels, these guys, and I think it's not looked down upon as much
No.
because these guys they need to live. Like any extra revenue they can get, why not? Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's
some of
rough,
it is
dude.
still cringy for sure, but You understand.
Here's the next one. We'll go to at AFGG3CE. Glad y'all are talking about this. Too many people with their heads in their arse. So he must be foreign.
Yeah,
I don't know.
think people just have this idea of what the industry is, and it's not always that.
At Daniel Hockersmith 5235, I love Steve's bewilderment at bloated teams. Oh man, how/why does such and such company have so many riders? None of them are getting paid. Maybe they get royalties if they're lucky. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes not getting paid, as we were just talking about. A lot of dudes not getting paid, and yeah, royalties if they're lucky. I've heard of pros on actual companies that don't get paid.
Yeah, like legit big companies that you see in Zoomies, see in all these places. Those guys are not getting a salary. They're getting, photo incentives or, board royalties, but that's not sustainable for your whole income. And that was kind of the point we were making of like, is there too many people on a team to not make it worth it?
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, that's cool. Like, you can even concentrate and not pay guys, make them flow, so they still have product to skate if they want, and then just concentrate on less people and maybe, divvy up the money so the other people make more.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that Baker conversation where it's like they took all those dudes' boards away, but they're all still family. Like they all still skate those boards. Like they're still, with the crew all the time and doing all that stuff. And like, yeah, not every situation ends as amicably as that, but it is what it is. Like you're a business who needs to stay in business.
Yeah, totally. And that's, the sad part of it, I guess, or the realistic part of it is at the end of the day, it is a business. And
yeah, it sucks. Yeah. Nobody wants to think about it that way. It's just like, oh, it's this art form. It's this thing I love. And it's like, cool. But think about that the next time you're buying a blank and when this brand goes under because nobody supported it.
Yeah, no, it's super true, man. AFGG3CE. I've seen Cariumas and Marshalls for $10. Is it bad? I'm tempted, if that's true, to like just see how bad they are. Like, I don't even want to give them any money. It's just for $10. Yeah. Like, that's probably an awesome gag gift to get somebody too. Happy birthday. A few years ago, probably maybe 8 or 9 years ago, 10 years ago, my one friend bought somebody from CCS had a sale on stray shoes with flames on them, and they were I think $3.
Oh my God.
And that's when, do you remember when the stray shoes were $20?
Yeah.
It was, and they were on sale at CCS. It was $2 free shipping, with all these half off, and he just started buying them and sending them to all of his friends. So I had size 13 pink flamed stray shoes. I thought that was pretty funny. Pat Ryan, good one on that.
Oh, the Dane Bonds.
Yeah, it was all right. At Funnish. Scumco just posted an ominous fading into oblivion post. Maybe this was an open. Oh, I hope it wasn't an omen. I don't want to be the one responsible for that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. We said they should stay.
Yeah, and that bummed me out to see. All right. At C Collins 125, a lot of the people that ride Zero just love the skull, black and white aesthetic, etc. The brand is washed, but a good logo, even with mediocre execution, still works for them, I guess. And I think it does. I mean, they have kept their image and the aesthetic the same, almost to a fault, over 25, 30 years they've been around?
Yeah, Zero started in 96 or 97.
Yeah, so they're almost at 30 years, whatever I think about them. But they have kept that same image, which is impressive.
And it's funny because it falls into that same category of Plan B, where it's how many different colors can you do this single skull on a solid color board with a different background or whatever? But at least it's consistent, where it's Plan B, they're throwing just nonsense on a board and with slapping a beat on top of it. I don't love it, totally. But the execution is a little better than how Plan B does it.
Oh, totally. Theirs is at least, I guess, more classic, where Plan B just uses shittier fonts on their thing with the same B logo, and it just looks really cheesy.
Yeah, like I still don't like it, but at least it's aesthetically a little more pleasing than just like, oh, here's paint splatter all over this and this weird font.
Yeah, no, totally. They're very consistent with it. Remember when mystery boards were all black and white, and then they did it for so long it was like color theory, and then they started making the boards in colors?
Yeah, because thank God, then they finally stopped dipping all of them.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing, was getting to buy when I was riding Zero and mystery boards. I was psyched when I could buy boards from Pete because they were mystery graphics that weren't dipped.
Yeah, that's got to be awesome. I hate full dip boards. I just had
The worst.
I had a Casper Brooker board from Baker board, and it was purple dipped, and I had to take it on a buffing wheel at work and take all the sides off. It was
I get it
purple
though.
dip. But, well, here's what was cool about it, and it kind of sold me on it. I was like, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, all right, cool. I saw the Baker edit, and the video, and I was like, oh, I want a Baker board. And so I call up the shop by me, Bunger, and I was like, all right, Max Roulette at Bunger, best dude. But I was like, what do you have in Baker and an 8? And he's like, you serious? And I was like, yeah. So he's like, all right, we got 3. So I was like, all right, hold them for me. I'll be right there. And one was like this shovel nose Riley Hawk. I was like, no. And I forget what it might have been a Rowan board maybe. And then there was the purple dipped Casper Brooker board. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with this. And I could tell the top ply was dyed. So the top and middle plies were dyed. Usually they don't do that on full dips. Like I could see it through the holes of the when they were punched through, and I was like, all right, cool, I can totally work with this. It's not just going to be some natural wood board. I was kind of hyped, and then I just sanded the sides off, and now it looks like a normal board.
But at least, I mean, that goes to like a little side tangent real quick. But I mean, I had a conversation. I posted something on my story the other day of like, did that video translate to sales in your shop? And a bunch of shop owners hit me back, and it was like pretty mixed. Of like, yes, some people were like, absolutely. Like I sold so many, like I cleared out my inventory in that first week. And other people were like, I can't, it didn't do anything. So it's very interesting. I don't know if it's regional or what, but it's just some people it really worked as like a marketing tactic and people wanted a board. I'm not going to lie. I looked to see if I could get an Alyssa board and they don't have one in the line right now.
Yeah, I was super hyped. And again, I didn't like the board when I had it. But I was like, I got to get one of these. Like, I want to support this. And
yeah, exactly.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's like I can't buy the video because it's already online for free. They're not making hard copies. So let me support them in some way for all this, some kind of return on their investment for making.
Yeah, totally. It was a cool video to watch for the most part. We missed doing our review on it, and then other people have done them, so I don't see that in the cards.
The Gifted Hater one was entertaining, so we'll let Joe handle that one.
But it was a good video, and if you haven't seen it, it's back on YouTube and free to watch. And I think everybody should at least take a look. All right, so on to the next one. We have at Duplinski. I like indies. Didn't really try them until kind of recently, last few years. I like bigger wheels like 56 to 60. This guy must skate vert. And I hate wheel bite, so I like the height. I probably like Venture as much or more. They each have a place, but I do own more indies. Plural. Mini logo bushings fit indies, and they're quite nice. They don't have the weird plastic cores washers like the Bones. They're just a standard shape size bushing like 90s Dodos, which I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but yeah, they are like 90s Dodos, wink, wink. I have the Indy Forge Hollow 139 Chris Jocelyn's, boy, with white bushings, and they seem harder than standard Indy bushings. I could see the bushing colors changing, like when you have black wheels, they're softer, like you're adding the dye from the clear ones to the solid colors.
I was looking today because I had to buy replacement bushings because from me switching them back and forth so much, like breaking the trucks in, I jacked up the one top bushing, and it's their replacement ones are all color coded, and they have like
so what did you go with?
Hard, it's not just like soft, medium, hard. It's like medium hard, medium soft. There's like 5 or 6 different variations.
Very, very high tech. Well, you know what? I guess too because they gotta market it against the Bones ones. So if theirs have a different rating, like, like the 806 DGK boards and deluxe, and it's like, I need 806, I don't want an 8, and it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and the
So
Bones ones
they have to
don't
do,
fit in the new truck.
yeah, I can't use medium, I need the medium hard, so it's marketing on their part. I think indies especially shine for ledge curb skating because the meaty hangers take longer to wear down to the axle. I don't know. Mitch, so you are riding indies right now. Were you an indie guy prior in your years?
Like 10 years ago, I rode indies. We talked about that when like the indie lows were out. I rode them then.
And yeah, what was I going to say? Because I had indies, like I had a set maybe 6 years ago or something, and I tried them and I didn't like them. And I never was really an indie guy ever because they were always heavy and tall, I was mostly Thunders and Ventures for most of my, I guess when I knew what I was doing. Probably Venture more than anything. And then Thunder for a while. But I don't know. Is it like, so they turned, what is the appeal to them?
I just wanted something that felt a little more solid just to try it. And the turning radius is what the deal was for me. It's like, dude, in the winter, like I'll probably go back to Ventures in the spring, but I just wanted something different to get me through the winter that I didn't feel like I was like the low truck or the loose truck kit didn't work for me in the Ventures. So it was like too loose, but I wanted to still be able to turn. I don't know. It was. I'm sure it was just some madness shit in my head of like I was having a bad day because it was freezing cold and couldn't turn. And was like, I got to do something. So I mean, but I.
So were you happy with the experiment?
Yeah, for right now. Like my board doesn't feel bad by any means. It's definitely heavier. But
I guess that's not. I don't think heavy's always a bad thing. Yeah, because I never got into like. So as far as the slides. Like, you know how the Ventures have that pushed out, the base plate, so it's like you slide on the base plate, where the Thunders, it's further in.
Not like a Thunder where it's set back.
Yeah, the Thunders are hard for me because I'm just not a good ledge skater with the weight placements, and the Thunders, it's really hard to get those to work how I'd want them to. So that's why I also thought the Ventures were pretty cool because of that. I guess the indies are in between.
Yeah, and I get what he's saying about like the meaty hangers. Like, dude, if I do like a crooked grind, I feel like I can just like mash it into the ledge and it goes. Where like Ventures, you kind of have to finesse it a little bit more.
Maybe I'm missing out. I wouldn't be able to. I'm already up to 52s. I can't mess around with these things. Duplinski again too, so he's on a roll here.
He loves the content.
I like Bones / mini logo wheels, some more than others. The X97 56mm V6 vert and mega ramp wheels are really nice. Most of my wheels are old and or secondhand. I don't really need any new gear, but I am a bit curious to try Formula 4s. He's never tried Formula 4s. Holy shit. I think I would prefer the 97A, but I don't know if they still make them. I think they do. Wow. I prefer Bones over the mini logo wheels, even though I'm on mini logo payroll. The wheels are very normal. They're like the mini logo ones are like a normal classic Spitfire, like the non F4 and the Bones. They have a whole bunch of different stuff. I would definitely rather have a Bones wheel over a mini logo wheel. Yeah, the X97s. Mitch, you tried X97s.
Yeah, too soft.
Too soft. Yeah,
the 99s are great.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like totally 200% sold on those X99s.
Yeah, I went back to Formula 4s right now, but could be either way.
Yeah, I'm so sold. I even went up to 52 just to ride them. I love them. But I can't believe this guy, he's never tried Formula 4s, man. If I had a set of vert 70mm Formula 4s to give him, I would totally pass them along to him.
Man, I was looking at Cater's new wheel. It's a 59. That is a big-ass wheel.
I don't know how he hits his tail down.
I saw one of the kids on Terror had them set up. And it's like they just look enormous. And they're so wide. He's like, oh, it helps me cheat. I can lock into grinds.
Wow. I mean, I just wouldn't be able to pop into the grind.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's cool. You can
So
skate
high.
more stuff and you probably go super fast.
And somehow he rides a 59 with no riser.
Joshua Zint 4953. Here, you ready for these, Mitch? I did not appreciate the unkind words about the Misfits.
I'm not even getting into it. People are stuck in their fandom, and I get it. Yeah, they sold out Madison Square Garden, whatever. When you get a crew like that, where it's like, yeah, they haven't played together in 20 years or whatever. Yeah, you're going to draw some people, but it's not going to do that regularly.
Well,
It's like
I guess
the Misfits are like a Thrasher T-shirt. Like 90% of the people wearing it never even heard them. They just think it's a cool logo.
Which is how they're also, can remain profitable and all that.
Yeah.
So
Jerry Only's a fucking genius when it comes to that stuff. Anything you can buy Misfits, he's licensed out to somebody. It's everywhere.
It's also because think of too how many times that's logos are ripped off and
yeah, exactly.
like
the diamond one always comes to mind with like the gold fronts.
Bronze did one, right? That was the bronze one was a Misfit.
The Halloween one.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's more like I guess pop culture than anything else. Like it's just one of those things.
Yeah, like, don't get me
I
wrong.
only know.
I don't dislike the original Misfits music. Like I definitely like the box set and shit. Like I listened to it a million times. But in 2024, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's I only know. I mean, I probably the one with Mother with Eric Ellington. Like that's about all I know from them.
And that's not even the Misfits. That's just Danzig.
Oh, so see, I know nothing about this.
Maldonado, Welcome to Hell.
Wow. I always thought that Danzig. Wow. And Danzig's the singer.
Yeah. Yeah, they had like some big falling out and he started like side project bands. And like the Misfits got new singers, but nobody really fucked with them like that. But we don't need to get into their discography.
Oh, well, on to the next one.
Just my opinion.
Always, yeah. That's what it is. Arm Kid Mustang. I'm glad you guys are saying these things. Nine Club is and has always been too bitch to speak upon these issues. They're very positive. I think sometimes Chris Roberts doesn't know anything outside of like Girl Chocolate and Primitive. But I don't know. I guess that's what we're here for. We're not the Nine Club. We are Dead Air Radio, and these are the things we talk about.
Yeah, they're too tied into the industry where they can't be dickheads about certain things because they just have to be nice about it. Like they got to see all these people every day.
Yeah, it's nice having 1,000 subscribers, whatever, and we can go under the radar. It's not affecting us in our daily day-to-day. Like, yeah, if we were on their level, do you know what I mean? Like, I would like to think we would still do the show the same way, but
agreed.
I'm sure there's stuff that plays into it. All right, Toplensky again. He loves this. I like Santa Cruz. They've had some awesome riders over the years. I never had one of their boards until kind of recently, but I now have 3 of them. Wow. But still no Formula 4 Spitfires. So weird. 8-inch Everslick. Listen, this guy's quiver is insane. 8-inch Everslick, 825, 9 1/4 Eric Dressen shape deck. I had Creature and SMA boards, but not Santa Cruz specifically until now. I'm not married to a shape, but their boards are a bit steeper than I usually prefer. I would consider trying Tom's board. It does look super tapered, but I think it wouldn't be too crazy. Would probably remind me of 90s boards. One thing I especially appreciate about Santa Cruz NHS is they seem to keep people around. Jeff Kendall, Ron Whaley, Eric Dressen, etc. Like they have a place for former pros whether they're skating or not. I think that last part's pretty true, right?
Yeah, I mean Kendall's there. Ron Whaley was running stuff at Crux forever. Personally, the Everslick is cool. I like they did that. I'm really not a fan of the VX boards that they make. It's supposed to be like their answer to the Powell flight boards, but they're so much heavier. They don't give like the same I don't even know if they still make them. I would assume they do, but it's just not the same thing. Like, yeah, it's strong and it probably doesn't break, but those flight boards being skinnier and like only 5 plies or whatever, they're thin. It's light, doesn't feel like it's going to break. It's not as much as like I'm a Powell advocate or anything, but it's just not the same. Like, not comparable in any way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I love the flight boards. They're as good as their graphics are bad. Um, they're the boards
Yeah,
are
that's the
awesome. If you
handoff. It's
like
like you
mellow,
can skate this great board, but the graphic is horrendous.
yeah, that's why God invented spray paint and stickers. They're bad. The graphics are bad, but those boards, if you like mellow boards, those things are the best. And they hold up forever. They feel cool because they're, like you said, they're 5 plies. Super sick. But yeah,
Yeah, I can skate one, lip slide a rail, and at 220 pounds or whatever, and not even think about it cracking. So it's got that going
yeah,
for it.
that's which is awesome. I ran my car over mine like numerous times. It was fun. They're awesome boards. But yeah, this is crazy. So you didn't really say much, but I guess yeah, it's cool. Santa Cruz keeps those guys around. Next one is Kyle Martin paintings. For frozen venture bushings, the Ace low replacement bushings work great. They won't freeze up. The standard Ace won't fit, so it has to be the lows. Interesting. Cool little hack.
I wonder if they sell Ace low bushings separately, or if you have to like take them out of trucks.
Yeah, that's interesting to know, and it's also interesting to know if you do have Ace lows that they have different bushings. At Damian Skachelski 775, there needs to go under. Mitch, I even with this one, like, there's people on there, like there's riders on there who are really good. So I don't.
Dude, James Petoniak is fucked up good.
Yeah, I don't, just because they sponsor a certain kind of person, I don't think that it has to go under. I mean, I could think of 50 other brands that have to go under before that. Even that
they have
Nike guy.
Yeah, like we talked
really
about brands having their lane, and like they definitely have their lane of like that's who they're marketing to, and nobody else is. So why not have a place for those people to want to go to?
Yeah, I don't see it, and they have good skaters, so that's, I think there's a place for it totally.
That dude's name is Jeff that does all the art for there.
Oh, I that brand's pretty new to me. I didn't even know what it was until probably about 6 months ago.
Yeah, like I don't love the art style, but again, it's not for me, so I don't really care. But like I have a Petoniak board in my collection.
Love the indie mids. I Eat Planets 7086. I love the indie mids. Hope they didn't really stop making them. They did though, right?
Yeah, we got that from a bunch of shops that they were like clearancing them out for dirt cheap.
Primitive is my favorite decks right now. Agree with the collabs. It is what keeps them making money and being able to invest in their team. Yeah, but they have so many collabs. Like, eventually that's got to backfire. I'm going to say this, too. There's always more money in skating from non-skaters, and I think that's what they're trying to bite on is some, so-and-so saying, like, oh, I can get this board for my uncle. He loves wrestling, or, But Primitive, so weird. All right. At Peppy Skate, the only place for Penny if he quit flip is Palace. I think he hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, I could see that. They can kind of legacy him in there.
I'm surprised they haven't even guest boarded him or something. That would have been so cool. All right. Peppy Skate again. He's competing with Duplensky to see who can comment the most. Which we appreciate. This topic absolutely matched with the name of the channel. Laughy emoji. I was so impressive how good was the epic edits on Topics channel, especially for the good amount of never seen rugged spots. Their skills are incredible. They deserve more view. I agree.
Yeah, we just put that Spain edit up from, I think they were there like 2 years ago. It was like a bunch of Mathis and Kyle Nicholson footage and Maldonado.
And that's on their YouTube?
Yep. Yeah, we're trying to put some more YouTube content out.
Yeah, but this is cool too. So somebody who's watching this, we're talking about Terra Planet X, and then they said, oh, let me check this stuff. And they liked it. So that's really cool. I'm happy that, we played into that. I think that's the reason we're here, is if we know something and, just to, I guess, share knowledge or whatever, that there's other stuff out there, or this is stuff that's cool to look at. Raphael Cintron 4917. I got some pretty much new Indy Low 139s I salvaged from a discarded setup someone tossed into the bottom of the local bowl. Not on IG anymore, but I'll send them your way. Where do I email you? And I left my email, deadonarrivalny@gmail.com. So, Raphael, please hit me back because I will try those Indy Low 139s gladly.
Yeah, what up, Raph? I'm glad to see you're listening. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's funny because you do these people and you come across them and they're awesome, and people get off Instagram and it's like that's the only way you have contact with them.
Yeah,
the wonders of the 2020s. But yeah, Raphael Cintron 4917. Please email me and I will give you all my info and pay for the shipping and all of that, and try and trade you something you won't want for them. Hilhenta. Y'all hating on Flip, 100% justified. Then Steve sees a Mellow Prime board on their store and can't stop thinking about it. This is true. I've ridden worse than Flip. And they definitely, I think they were one of the biggest ones we said should just go under. I mean, they should just be done.
Yeah, there's nothing to it anymore.
Yeah, let Penny get on Palace, which is the next OG Skatener, and Penny on Palace is the correct answer. And I agree. Should have just let that happen. Give the guy his golden years on something way cooler. Lorenzo Jonason. Venture was around before 92, Mitch.
Hey, I blew it. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I blew it too. Because when it was said, I was like, yeah. The Featherlight, I believe, came out in 92, which is like, basically the original version of the Ventures that are out now, the Venture Low, I guess, but it had the grooving on the hanger. So it was like the prehistoric version of the modern day Venture. Was, I believe, 92, the truck that started boards having to redrill the holes for the no slide cricket grind era. But yeah, Venture's definitely around in the 80s. There was Steve Rocco was TM for Venture, and that's when he took Mike Vallely with him, and I believe Jason Lee and Nodis on a trip, and that's when they all started World, and 101 started with those brands and doing all of that. Was on a Venture trip. So yeah, it's been around, but yeah, we'll own up to that one.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the L on that one. I definitely misspoke, and I don't know. Just in my head, it stuck out as 92 in that moment.
It is what it is. Like I said, that's when the Featherlight. That's when anything, because Venture before then they were like not good trucks. I remember they weren't like cool trucks. It was like Thunder and Indy, Gullwing, but they weren't cool trucks. So when they came out the Featherlight, that was the game changer, and I believe that was 92. So, Jackie Treehorn 8643. Those Warriors decks go hard though. LOL. Goddamn Warrior Plan B boards, man. That's like dagger through my heart. All right, another one. At least the mid 80s, not 92. Yes, we've just touched on that. Extra niceness. You're seriously asking if Indy should still be around? Well, we asked about all these companies.
Yes,
this is just one of those things. We went through everything and asked the same damn questions. I'm only like 10 minutes into the convo. Hand on face emoji. Like, yeah, it was everything. The whole point was to randomly pick brands and go over them and talk about them.
Yeah, and we definitely said Indy should stay around.
Yeah. So hand emoji, that one. Yeah. Dave Waite. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Dave Waite. Curious list of brands. No girl, chocolate, FA, or hockey. Well, I think he's right. I don't think I had... Did I have hockey on? I have the lists here. Because even at the end, like, when we, like, gunned through them, I don't think I got to all of them. And I'm checking because I did think that I put... I'm such a neat freak, Mitch, that I have everything right in front of me. Did I not have it? I didn't have it. Dave's right.
We
Yeah,
talked
I don't
plenty
know. I
about
guess they
Girl and
slipped my
Chocolate
mind.
in previous episodes.
So, Girl Chocolate, Mitch, we can play this one right now quick. Should they stay or should they go?
I feel like they have a place. They have a heritage. They're still doing things. Could it use a little bit of a revamp? Sure, but I don't think it needs to go. Like as long as Rick and Mike are still there making calls and being involved, it's
It's so bad. Chocolate's cooler than Girl. I almost don't give a shit about either of them. And, it killed me, that Bob Shirt interview. And he mentioned Travis Stenger, and they were like, who? And that right there, I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. And
great
this is
because
why
it goes back
nobody
to
gives
what
a
they talked
shit.
about, that gassing dump.
Yeah, it's just like they
They
don't even know
flowed
what's going
so
on.
many people.
Like, Rick Howard's the best. I think Rick Howard's super respected. I'd still love to see footage of him. The one trick, whatever, the couple tricks. The frontside shove it, no slide in the Lakai video was awesome. Trick of the year. Best thing ever. Super hyped to see him skate. You know what, though? I'm going to say Girl and Chocolate, that we don't need them anymore. They've seen their day. Just my opinion. Great. They've done awesome stuff, but right now they're such shells of themselves. And I like the the Herrera kid and Trahan are sick, but I think they'd get on something else anyway. They can be gone. I don't really care. FA hockey, have they run their course too? Hockey's cooler than FA. I think FA now putting on Kern Caples to save them is I don't know. FA could be done. I think hockey's a lot cooler.
FA as a brand is whatever. Like that stupid fucking fetus soap that they just put out to be edgy, I think is super whack. The brand, like the skaters, sure, whatever. Like they all are fine. Like they all can do their thing. But as a business, I fucking hate FA. I won't even lie. Like they do so many shitty things to the shops that I just can't stand. Like putting their stuff online before shops even get their orders, and then tell shops that they can't sell it online. That sucks. That's such an asshole move.
Yeah, and you know what else, Mitch? Too,
clearancing out products to direct to customer before you give it to shops at that price is insane. Like I'd be furious.
Yeah, and well, that's what I heard. Like a shop out here was saying, he's like, I could buy them, but they're online selling the boards cheaper than like I get them online.
They were selling them
so
for
why do
$30, and then we know what they're charging shops for them, and it's way more than that.
Yeah, I think they retail for like $80.
Yeah, probably more.
Yep, and then they made the Zoomies leap.
But just hockey, right?
Yeah, hockey. Of course, they were like, we're not going to tarnish FA. We'll throw hockey into the dumpster fire, and hockey's so much cooler. So hopefully, those guys make more money now.
Yeah. Well, I think because the van stores wouldn't put FA boards in there just because of the words.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they'll make shoes with it on it, though.
Yeah, weird. That is pretty funny. That's an excellent point. But yeah, FA can go under. They can move Gino over to hockey, which I think would make sense.
God, I forgot Gino was still on FA.
Yeah, but Gino's awesome, and he likes hockey, so he should be on hockey. And then keep hockey. I think that, and FA could go under. Let's see. Here we go. I think we're getting to the good ones now, Mitch. Indy has a 50mm truck they put out recently at Yes Maybe 630. I went and looked this up. It was a mid forged, and it's 50.5mm. Still taller than my Venture Low. So, it does pique my curiosity a little. I have to say, I can't lie. I was like, all right, that's kind of in the range. Maybe, but I like to get anything under 50 is cool for me. But maybe switching back to 50mm wheels and then trying those, would be interesting. And same guy, Yes Maybe 630, who just says Indy has a 50mm truck that's actually 50.5mm. You guys sound like a bunch of posers. Would love to see your skate ability. Disrespecting Mike V and Louis B. Posers.
again,
So
having an opinion about a professional skateboarder that's putting themselves out in the world to be viewed. That's the whole point. Like, you can have your opinions and you support those people or don't support those people. Like, do I think Mike V is whack? Yeah. Some of the things that he's done over the years, I really don't agree with, and I think he's lame. But whatever. People that grew up on him, I'm sure think he's great. You go support Street Plant. Do your thing. I won't. It's all good.
well, that's the thing too. Like, I hope you're buying tons of Mike V and Louis Barletta stuff. I hope your basement is loaded with jacuzzi and Street Plant boards and Cariuma shoes. Um, I'd love to see your skate ability. Well, it's not hard to look us up and see us that we do skate. Regardless, it wasn't like we were saying I'm better than Mike Vallely, which would warrant that. Again, it's like, I'd love to see your skate ability. What does that have to do with anything? But we do skate. You can look us up. Even on this page, you can find stuff of us skating. So we do skate.
Yeah, we're not breaking any ground, but at the same time, like, my opinion is just as valid as yours.
Yeah, and it's just funny. And then he put out the wrong specs on the 50 millimeter truck. That's 50.5, which in the truck universe is a huge difference. So we're posers. Peppy Skate. He was now beating Duplensky for now. I think it's like 3-2. Why don't you like Billy Wester? I replied and just said he looks like, besides the Blink 182 outfit, it's like his board has been submerged in water for 3 months. He just skates soggy, like waffle with syrup, as John Coppola would once have said. Long Island legend. Waffle with syrup skateboard. It's just flop. He's super good. Just not my thing at all. Do you have a take on Billy Wester? Yeah. Do you have a take on him, Mitch?
About it.
Yeah. He's just kind of there. Crazy Carl's Adventure 5983. Barry Toy Machine and Leo Romero Silver Emerica Shoebox. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, I feel so bad that I forgot about Miles being on Toy Machine. Miles is the homie.
He'll get on something else then. Crazy Carl's Adventures 5983 again. Yeah, no one likes the Misfits. Only in 2019 they sold out Madison Square Garden. Over 19,500 tickets sold. Tickets going for 150 plus. That band is the most underrated, underappreciated band that finally got the credit they deserve almost 40 years later. Really? I know nothing about them, and I'm not going to say they're underrated. I know nothing about them. I didn't even know the one song I thought was theirs wasn't. And I could pick their logo out of, anything.
Yeah, so they sell it in T-shirts at Walmart. It's not undervalued.
Yeah. Tickets going for 150 bucks plus. Is that even a lot? I know like a Nick's nosebleed ticket.
Concert tickets are ridiculous.
Yeah, so
and 2019. Madison Square Garden for 1 or 2 nights doesn't blow me away. When it's the only shows they played. It's not like they went on tour and sold out stadiums across the world.
Yeah, it's not like they sold out Citi Field. I mean, we're using like the hockey and basketball venues are much smaller than a baseball venue or, football venue, something like that. Like, I mean, people, I just don't think.
But I didn't say no one likes the Misfits. I don't think. I'm just saying like it's not.
No, it's just not what it used to be.
The hype is bigger than what the band is. Like the music itself versus. What people know about them is 2 different things.
Yeah. Well, is it safe to say they're almost like Zero now? Like Zero did have that, like Zero kicked ass back in the day, and now it's kind of like, it's Zero.
Yeah, I mean, what they did when they were younger is cool, but again, it's like,
ULPSB, the Ace Air Force One lows are really good. I kept telling people the Kingpin clearance on the low Air Force One is better than a lot of high trucks. Yeah, they did. They fixed it with the AF1 lows. They really fixed that Kingpin issue that they had. And it definitely has good clearance. I agree on that. Magalengo. I don't get it. Why do people not like Chris Jocelyn?
He's like default skate character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like he's
Yeah.
just like pants and shirt, whatever came in the box this month, what I threw on, whatever logo's here, just throw it on. Like he is Etnies. Like he fits perfectly on Etnies because it's just like a bland skater who's really, really good at doing tricks. Like his
Right.
talent on a skateboard, you can't deny. But everything else about him is not aesthetically interesting.
No, and it's just like big stair set, big gap, cruise around skate park, big. He's a contest guy.
And he's
It's
good. Like he's got solid flat ground, he's got ledge tricks, but like it's just not, there's nothing appealing about it to I don't know.
No, there's,
Like he's such a is he from California? He just seems like very
He's got to be.
Southern
He's
California.
got to be. Or like the Midwest
I mean,
somewhere.
that's
but
how
think
little I know
he's got to
about
be
him.
California. Yeah, I don't. It's just he's just boring. Just not my thing. Not your thing, I believe. Just not what I look for in a skater. But again, yeah, great. He's a great skateboarder. I don't care.
Yeah, just does
And
nothing.
I don't want to
for
end
me.
up. Yeah, I don't want to end up with his Plan B Swan Warriors deck. Here's a great one, Mitch. James Russell 6716. You guys are fucking whack. Haha. We are.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thanks for the 27 cents of ad revenue there, James Russell. We appreciate it. Work Party DIY Skateboarding 4722. East Coast Auto Fellatio at its finest. Duffy is older and rips harder than these kooks.
I would hope so.
Yeah, he's a pro skater. He should rip, and he's older than us.
And what I said to this dude was, I hope you buy Duffy boards, because that was the whole point of this conversation was, do these people that are on these bloated companies still sell boards?
Yeah, and like you said, that's the thing, though. Like, I hope you're buying Pat Duffy's board. I hope you're buying Plan B boards. Like, Jesus Christ, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the whole conversation was about,
Yeah.
do these brands, not these skaters. I hope
Yeah.
you're buying Pat. Like, I hope all these people, whatever, let Pat Duffy make a living off of skating. But I don't see that happening.
No, I can't see, unless there's people we don't know buying his stuff. It's OG Skate Nerd. Mitch is way too dedicated to his area and will defend any skaters from there, even if they're whatever, garbage whack skaters. Steve will talk shit on Long Island kooks like Spears. Mitch, I want to start off and hit this one. Not to steal your thunder here, but I have a feeling that these guys that we'll just use Chris Cole as an example. Like, he's probably a lot cooler, which makes it easier for me for these people out here that just aren't cool. I just remember Frankie Spears. We'll bring this up. Granted, he was younger, but he's from Long Island, and he had a checkout, and he didn't mention Bunger Sayville because it's not the cool shop, and he didn't say he was from Long Island. And that was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Like, he said Queens. Like, you're not from Queens. It's just stuff like that. Like, I have a feeling any of these guys, it's just a lot, they're probably good dudes, and that changes opinions on everything.
And I responded to him like, yes, I'm sure there's a little bit of a bias, but it's the people that you see in person ripping all the time that you're way more of a fan of, because you see it in person. Like, it's different to see it as opposed to, seeing it on your phone or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's tons of people in California that are amazing skaters that everybody in that look at Blair loving Wes Kremer. I don't care about Wes Kremer because I don't see Wes Kremer and like see his skating in front of me. So it doesn't translate to me. I don't care. Yeah, I'm dedicated to these people that he doesn't like. Like, I asked him for examples and like, yeah, he doesn't like Joey Marone. Cool. That's fine. You don't like Joey either. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm still psyched on him. I'm psyched on his skating. He said Tom Asta is like watching paint dry. Yeah, he's not like the most exciting person, but like technically watching that dude skate, he's a machine. So I'm not going to say bad shit about him. But I understand that it's not for everybody, which is cool. Like, that was my whole point from the beginning of this was like, we all have opinions. Like, yeah, there's skaters I definitely don't like from around here, but I don't know. If they come up, I'll definitely have an opinion on them. But at the moment, that wasn't who we were talking about.
Yeah, no, totally. Like I said, I mean, these guys, like, you've known Tom forever. Like, he's cool. You've seen it in person. Like, seeing people in person, I think, always kind of, because not everybody's going to be able to see everybody in person. When you see people in person, it does change. Like, just seeing that talent in front of you, it can, sway an opinion. From just going on footage or whatever. Like, sometimes seeing it real deal. Like, Walker Ryan's a dude. I don't care about Walker Ryan, but like, probably seeing how good he is in person, probably being, he is kind of good. And that one
Shane
little
O'Neill.
iPhone edit he had was good.
I know Shane O'Neill is incredible, but like I saw him, we went to ABC Legends the one day and he was there. And it was just him and a filmer and Diego. And they're just skating the spot, filming and like watching how many times consistently he did like good shit and like didn't miss. That I was like, I put him in another category. It's different. It changes it. It changes your opinion seeing it in person.
Yeah, totally. So, on to the next one. Ancient Westonian. Talking with my buddy, I said something about how Crooked is one of the coolest brands, and he said, seriously? Crooked is not relevant at all anymore. I was like, but Brad Cromer and Bobby Warist and Mike Anderson are the best. He's like, kids don't know who those guys are anymore. My feelings still hurt. My feelings are still hurt. And I agree with it. I hate to say it. Like, yeah, they're so sick. I don't think kids know who they are. And it's sad because those guys aren't even that old. And Bobby Warist is like, I always figured like he's a skater any kind of skater is going to like. If you're a rail dude, doesn't matter. He still looks cool. He can do rails. If you're a gap dude, ledge dude, hesh dude, tech dude, he's like fits every mold. I think Crooked is really cool.
Yeah.
Brad Cromer, Bobby Warist, Mike Anderson. But yeah, the younger kids, I don't know if that, like those Supreme kids, if those guys resonate with them. That I don't know.
Yeah, what's it? The girl's name? Una Ferrar?
Yeah, and they have Josh Narvaez's sister.
Sam.
Oh, God, Sam, yeah. And they're both super sick.
Yeah, like Cromer had stuff in that Huff video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's like relevant for sure.
Yeah, I just always wonder, how much of that does cross over, but I don't know. I don't know any of these kids. Like, if I go to a skate park out here, get out of work and, just to skate, which I think I'm going back to like street skating only. I'm giving up on these parks out here. But some of the kids like by me, they're just lost. Like, nice kids, but they don't, I think they're more into keeping up with the Long Island scene as opposed to like what's really going on. So they don't know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I even see that with like dudes in their 20s here. It's like they're all still like barracks influenced. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
why is that your go-to? No. Like, there's so many forms of social media right now. Like, why is the barracks your site that you're looking to get your interest from?
Yeah, it's which is crazy. Like, they should be old enough to know better. Duplensky, you guys are the old guys from the Muppet Show talking shit from the balcony. That is us.
I will take that.
We have a celebrity comment here from Mini Logo. 10 years of terror. Pretty sick.
Just talking about that today.
Yeah, 10 years of terror. So is that this year? Do you know when? Or did that already hit?
The like actual date is, I think, April. But yeah, we're doing some reissues and stuff like that. Got some cool stuff coming.
We got one left. Social Pariah. It's always a treat when you guys upload a video. I love how opinionated you guys are and don't sugarcoat shit. As a person who grew up in Massachusetts, pack my cat and have it yad, and hates most things. It's good to hear some East Coast opinions. A lot of the shit you guys talk about is stuff we talk about at my local skate shop. At this point, you guys are my favorite. Forget everything other skater media. Keep killing it. Well, we'll end it on a positive note, Mitch. It's very nice. This guy appreciates us. Yeah, it's fun to do.
Yeah, I feel like our stuff is shop talk. Like that was kind of like where we came from. Like we both had that, mentality growing up, and I feel like this is what we do now. Like it's what we've always done. We would hang out at the shop and shoot the shit and have opinions about whatever video came out and whatever.
That's what I feel like we are talking to all of our friends at once is how I'd like to, say it.
And even when I'm like delivering boards, like I make sure I take a day or two and deliver boards to all the shops that I can, so I can go and have that shop talk and go and chop it up and see what's happening in everybody's spots and like different regions, and everybody's got different opinions, which I love. Like that's like, oh, you guys can sell those boards or you can sell those shoes. Like, the shop an hour from here in that direction would never be able to sell those.
I think it's cool to, take all this information in and, it's just skating and talking about skating. I could do it forever. So I'm happy there's people out there that want to listen. That makes it easier to do each episode. But yeah, I guess that's our comments reaction, episode 8A. Anything else you want to add to this, or we're good to go?
No, I think that covered everything. Like I said, well, I'm sure we'll get comments on this too, and that's what I want to see. Like, interact with it. Like, you have opinions, and so do we. Like, let's keep it going. Like, have the conversations.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's fun. Like, you get people interacting and having their opinions, and again, learning from it too. Like, but we're always here. I think if we mess up, we will own up to it. And I don't know. Yeah.
We'll definitely don't know everything. Like, there's enlighten me when I screw up and say something stupid.
Yeah, totally. That's what this is here for. So on that note, we're going to get going. And we'll be back soon with another episode.
But yo, you got to break out and I got to break out. World for life.